Yolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another short explanation video. But before I get started with that, if you want to see longer videos, there's now also an STFC Let's Play channel from Outside Views with longer videos where you can join me on my journey through this game, and that's available in English now as well. I started that in German and it's now available in English since this week, and if you want to see that, it's in the pinned comment below the newest videos, so there you can find it. But today on this channel here, let's quickly talk about another part of gameplay, and that's the point where some will be surprised probably, because I want to talk about spending money. If you are one of the people spending money in this game, and I don't mean the whales, I mean people on a rather modest level, then of course, you know, whenever we talk about the battle pass, I say the best thing you can do if you ever spend money in this game, get the smaller pack for the elite path here, because the price and gain ratio here is the best in this game. But before you spend more money on this game, especially, for example, on those upgrading packs, which some people do. Yeah, you usually can find them all the time for ships, for buildings, for the material you need. We have these limited times one, like the Station Depot Special or Battleship Depot Special and so on. Think about if, before you spend money on stuff like that, isn't there something that might help me more than just this immediate help with material for one building, for example? If I wanted to, and if I had the money, I could just buy a pack, for example, to upgrade the R&D department that I'm working on at the moment. But even if I wanted to spend 100 euros now on something, if I wasn't at the place where I'm right now, I would probably not do that. Because there's another part of this game. If I was missing someone, I would spend money there before I spend money on some upgrading packs, and that's the fleet commanders. Because the fleet commanders bring you something on the long run. They bring you something for every day and your everyday gameplay. And I even switch around depending on what's going on at the moment, because the fleet commanders, since they were introduced, are a really important part of this game. Nowadays, you can get all of them free to play. So already free to pay. You're from Scopely's point of view, you're always free to pay. You can get them now all free to play, but if you want to spend money, it might make sense to get them earlier. Lorca is one of these examples. Later on in the game, you will be able to get him with a Vindicator. With the GS31, you will be... No, with the Vindicator. It was the Vindicator. With the Vindicator to get them via the weekly events and so on. But it might be wise to have him earlier if you want to do something in PvP, for example. It was the same with Khan. You could buy him first, then you could get him later on just with gameplay. That's how I got Khan Noonien Singh. But if you want to spend money, people like Khan and Lorca would be very helpful. For example, if you want to do more during incursions, during territory takeovers, whatever. Spock and Kirk are the ones you get very early. Those are not the ones I would spend money on. But also Locutus, Seven, Janeway, and Sloan, they all have advantages for what you're doing. I, for example, switch around, which I just see that I have to switch around again. Incursion is over, that's why I put Khan in there, and now I put Janeway back because of the bonuses she brings. So we talked about all the different fleet commanders in detail. That's why I'm not doing it today. But look at the different videos, for example, about every single fleet commander and see if that might make more sense for you to spend money on one of those instead of spending money on just one upgrading pack, which will help you for just one building, sometimes not even the whole building material you need. And for the same amount of money, you can get a fleet commander much earlier than you might have him via the game. And so that's why I wanted to make this video for the people who are thinking about spending a modest amount of money into this game. Then you really should make up your mind what makes the most sense. As I said, if you only spend 23 euros here in the EU, for example, then it's the elite path for the battle pass. If you want to spend 100 euros on something, then really think twice before you buy an upgrade pack, and at least also have a look at the fleet commanders. There are other things as well that make more sense for me than an upgrade pack, but still the fleet commanders are something you should never forget in your calculations there. And that's why I wanted to make today's video. And if you want to add something on that thought, then please write in the comments below the video and on Discord. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.